Hey guys, we just got done seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in the theater, and as always, I'm gonna let my wife let you know what she thought of it first before I, take a stab and let you know what I thought of the movie. Because my wife, as you all know, will let you know how she feels about it, if she likes it or hates it. So let me go ahead and let her take it and let you know what she thought of it. So, what'd you think of it, hon?
It was alright. It was okay. I think there was a lot of slowness to it. There's a lot of dialogue, which I usually like. But
I
usually like dialogue. It's interesting for the storyline. But it did feel pretty slow moving to me. It was okay. You probably can wait for streaming.
All right.
But there's two post-credit scenes. And the first one's alright, but the second one is the one you want to wait for. Unfortunately, you have to wait for like 15 minutes of credits. I know I'm exaggerating, but it's worth it.
Alright. And then, was there anything good about it? Because you said all the stuff that, you can wait on. But is there anything redeemable about the movie that you enjoyed? Before I take it over and let them know what I thought and not beat it down as much. So what did you think? What did you enjoy? Were there things that you enjoyed about the movie?
Why don't you get into it and
I'll let you. I'll let you because I can see your face in the background when I start talking, and then I'll start saying, yeah, and she'll go, or. So I could see that as I'm videoing, I could see her, going, I don't agree with you. I ain't get that.
We'll see what's happening.
Okay. All right. This is my stab at it. Well, when I first saw, going through everything, I like the dialogue. I like dialogue movies. I said, if it gets into it in the movie, it grasps you and stuff like that, you'll watch a movie like that. But I did think that there could have been a lot more action scenes in it. I mean, when you watch the trailer, you're thinking it's all out action, but then when the movie it starts off like, man, everything's going to pick up like as soon as the movie starts, and then it's more of, talking and dialogue, which is fine. I mean, now the visual effects and everything were really cool. It reminded me more of like Guardians. Yeah, Guardians. When you see it, you're like, oh,
or Star Wars.
Yeah, Guardians, Star Wars.
A space movie.
Yeah.
It was like.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, like I said, I mean, visually awesome. Could have been a lot, more action. I mean, there's a few surprises here and there. People, that you thought were gone might not be, vice versa. But definitely check for the second end credit scene.
It did. I kept waiting for like the bottom to drop out.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. Like when you see it and you see the trailer and you see, Scott and you see, Kang, fighting, and you're thinking, oh my God, someone's going to be dying. Something's going to happen. Like, the Wasp, you're waiting for someone.
Giant tragedy to happen.
Yeah, that's going to, because this is like Civil War. This is supposed to start off the next phase, like the big, thing. So you're thinking, wow, then something big's got to happen in order to start off like this big jump. To me, it looks like what's going to start it, the big jump off, is going to be probably the new Guardians. Just from the trailer of that, it looks like there's probably going to be some left and right people dying. And now when you're like, well, what happened in Ant-Man? So, I mean, that's literally what you thought. And there were some scenes you're like, oh God, this is when it happens. And I'm just sitting there and like, oh God, no, this is what happens.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. And then you're kind of
left with a big question mark, really.
Yeah, kind of like, well, I mean, I
have a big question mark.
Yeah, because you introduced him like in the Loki series, and you introduced a lot of the stuff, and then
or one of them,
or one of the multiverses of him. But so you get a little bit of backstory, and now you get a little bit more backstory, which is good. They get to know about him just like you did with Thanos and stuff like that. But there could have been a lot more, action in the movie than what you saw. There's more dialogue. But, I mean, hey, I'm not going to be one of those people that says, just wait for streaming. If you want to go see it, go see it. It's like everybody I don't pay attention to people that do, things like IGN or Rotten Tomatoes going, oh, this got a 2 out of 5. I said I'd give it probably a 3 maybe, You know, I wouldn't give it like 3 out of 5. I wouldn't give it a 4 or a 5. I said, you know, everybody when they talk to me thinks I love every movie. Most of the time I do. I said, but if it's one of those, like, I kind of thought that as well. I was like, anticlimactic, you know, nothing happened at the end when you thought something was going to happen. So to me, I'm thinking you kind of have to deliver on those moments to make people feel engaged. Like, man, they want to see the next one and see what happens. Who's going to avenge who's going to be the next one that's going to step up. I was thinking maybe the daughter, she's going to be like the new one that's going to take over with maybe like She-Hulk and like the Hawkeye, things like that, like the younger version of them, like for the new Avengers. I couldn't really,
you know? I couldn't feel her storyline.
What?
She just kind of felt plopped right in there.
Well, I mean,
I know who she is.
Well, they did miss
all that time.
They did miss 5 years, so you know.
But it just felt like she was just kind of like, plop, put her in there.
What, just as like backstory, like, oh, that's his daughter from so many years ago.
Like in the other movie, it's like, yeah, I just couldn't relate to them because I was like, I don't really care one way or the other what happens to them.
What, like in Megan?
Exactly.
People.
I felt like she was just kind of plopped in the story, and I was just like,
all right. Well, if you guys haven't seen that review, watch it. My wife gives riveting stuff about Megan, of what she liked about it, which was 0.
I mean, so, it's quotable.
Yeah, it is. But see, if you quote it, then there must have been something redeeming about it. That's the thing.
Oh, okay. What's the quote we're taking away from this one then?
Root for the little guy. And there's always room to grow. Or it's not wait for streaming. That's not what we're taking from it. You know, I mean, but no, I didn't think they had it anywhere in there. Wait for streaming. I don't think they would put that in there, you know. But definitely go check it out. Let you guys go see for yourself. Let us know what you guys thought. I mean, hey, and if you have the A Club like at AMC, you're gonna see it for free. Go ahead. If not, I mean, go see it, you know, during the day when it's a little bit cheaper, if you're able to. Unless you have kids, then you're screwed. You know, unless you have someone to watch the kids for you, like we do, which we get lucky all the time to be able to watch stuff like that. But go check it out, or wait for streaming, and then, you know, let people know what you thought of it. See if you think the same thing that other people thought. Either it wasn't that good, or man, you really enjoyed it, or, you know, maybe, or what they could have done differently to make it a little bit better, more memorable for you.
Still waiting.
Yeah, still waiting. But
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't that one where you're thinking,
I expected
more. It's not like when you see it and you're like, wow, this is going to start off the new phase, and I can't wait to see what happens with these characters or him and how it takes off. It was more like this is the setup to get you to the next movie that's going to show you some more, not the one that starts it off. But
which is weird, because I feel like it should have had more setup.
Yeah.
To set it up.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like there was enough background for this story in the first place. It kind of just felt like it was like, oh, you know what? Let's just plop that whole story right in there. What happened here?
My wife likes talking with her hands. I mean, it just like spirit fingers or something like that in my face. These are spirit fingers. And I'm just like, they're getting close to my face.
Sorry. It was all right.
Yeah.
I just expected more. I thought there would be more.
So, what to take from this? What's the word for today? More. And spirit fingers in your face. All right. Thanks for listening to us rant. You guys have a good one. Bye, guys.